Hey everyone, welcome back! Today we're diving into Walter White, aka Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. We're breaking down his journey from a timid chemistry teacher to a ruthless drug lord, exploring his motivations, and Bryan Cranston's brilliant performance. Let's cook. First off, let's talk about Walter White's character arc. It's one of the most compelling and unforgettable transformations in television history. We meet Walter as a beaten-down, underpaid high school chemistry teacher. He's a man who's given up on his dreams and settled for a life of mediocrity. Diagnosed with cancer, he's willing to do whatever it takes to secure his family's future. The diagnosis is a catalyst, pushing him to make drastic decisions. He dives into the drug trade, partnering with Jesse Pinkman, a former student. Together they start cooking meth, and Walter's journey into the criminal underworld begins. Initially it's about providing for his family. He wants to leave them financially secure, but the money quickly becomes a symbol of his power and control. But as he gets his hands dirty, a switch flips inside him. The timid teacher starts to fade, replaced by someone far more dangerous and determined. He discovers a talent for this dangerous new world, a ruthlessness he never knew he possessed. He becomes Heisenberg, a name that strikes fear into the hearts of his enemies. This transformation from an ordinary man into a criminal mastermind is captivating. It's a slow burn, but every step is meticulously crafted. We see glimpses of the old Walter, but they become fewer as Heisenberg takes over. The lines between right and wrong blur, and his moral compass shatters. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. You can't look away, even as he spirals deeper into darkness. You're invested in his journey, even as he makes choices that churn your stomach. Each decision he makes pulls him further from the man he once was. How far would you go? What lines would you cross? Walter's story forces us to confront these questions, making us reflect on our own limits. Walter White's transformation is one for the TV history books. It's a journey that leaves a lasting impact, a testament to the power of storytelling. Some might say Walter White is just a straight-up bad guy, but I disagree. There's more to his story than just being a villain. His motivations are surprisingly relatable, at least at the beginning. He starts off as a man who loves his family deeply. Diagnosed with terminal cancer, he's desperate to provide for his family. The fear of leaving them without financial support drives him to extreme measures. He sees cooking meth as his only option. It's a drastic choice, but in his mind, it's a necessary one. Who hasn't felt that desperation to protect loved ones, even if it means bending the rules? It's a sentiment many can understand, even if they don't agree with his methods. As Walter gets deeper into the drug trade, his motivations evolve. The initial desperation gives way to something darker. It's not just about the money anymore. The financial security he sought is now overshadowed by a hunger for something more. It's about power, control, respect. He craves the authority and recognition he never had in his mundane life. He's tired of being overlooked and finds fulfillment in being in charge. The meek chemistry teacher transforms into a commanding figure. His ego takes over and he becomes addicted to the thrill. The rush of being Heisenberg becomes an obsession. He's not just a one-dimensional villain. Walter is a complex character, driven by a mix of noble and selfish desires. He's a complex human being with flaws and desires. His journey is a blend of good intentions and moral corruption. We see glimpses of his former self, but they're extinguished by the darkness. The man he once was is overshadowed by the monster he becomes. He's a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the best intentions can lead to devastating consequences. His story is a tragic descent into moral ambiguity. Walter White's journey is compelling and tragically human. It's a story that resonates because it shows how easily one can lose their way. Now let's talk about Heisenberg. This isn't just a name Walter adopts, it's a complete reinvention. Heisenberg is a persona that allows Walter to step into a new world, one where he is no longer bound by the limitations of his former life. He sheds his old skin and emerges as a ruthless, calculating drug lord. This transformation is not just physical but deeply psychological, altering his very essence. The look, that pork pie hat, dark glasses, chilling stare, it's iconic. These elements are carefully chosen to create a distinct and unforgettable image. Heisenberg is more than just a look. It's a symbol. It represents power, control, and a break from the mundane. It represents Walter's break from his former self, his embrace of darkness. This persona allows him to do things he never thought possible. He's not just Walter White, the cancer-stricken teacher anymore. He's transcended that identity to become something much more formidable. He's Heisenberg, the one who knocks. This declaration is a powerful statement of his new identity and the authority he now wields. Heisenberg's persona is a brilliant storytelling device. It allows the narrative to explore themes of identity, morality, and transformation. It allows Walter to separate himself from his horrific acts. He can justify his actions by attributing them to Heisenberg, not Walter White. It's a mask he wears, a shield he hides behind. This mask gives him the courage to face dangers and make decisions he would otherwise avoid. But masks eventually crack, and as Heisenberg's grip tightens, the lines blur. The distinction between Walter and Heisenberg becomes increasingly difficult to maintain. This duality, this battle between Walter White and Heisenberg, is compelling. It's a struggle that adds depth to his character and keeps the audience engaged. It's a reminder that we all have the potential for darkness within us. The story of Heisenberg is a cautionary tale about the dangers of losing oneself to a darker persona. Walter White isn't your typical hero or villain. He occupies a morally gray area that keeps you guessing. One minute he's saving Jesse, showing a flicker of humanity. The next, he's poisoning a child to manipulate Jesse. You find yourself rooting for him, even as he commits unspeakable acts. You justify his actions, telling yourself he's doing it for his family. But deep down, it's about ego, power, and proving something to himself. Vince Gilligan's writing forces you to confront your own moral compass. There's no easy answer with Walter White. He's a walking contradiction, capable of both great love and cruelty. He's a reminder that good and evil often exist on a spectrum. How far would you go? What lines would you cross? Walter White forces us all to confront these questions. Now let's talk about Bryan Cranston. Walter White wouldn't be the icon he is without Cranston's mesmerizing performance. He brought depth, nuance, and raw vulnerability to the role. Cranston masterfully navigates the character's transformation. He seamlessly transitions from meek Walter White to ruthless Heisenberg. Remember the "I am the one who knocks" speech? Goosebumps. Cranston's performance is a masterclass in acting. He doesn't just play Walter White, he becomes him. He embodies the character's complexities and humanity. Cranston set the bar for television acting. He gave us a character for the ages. His portrayal will be studied and celebrated for generations. So there you have it. 5 reasons why Walter White is the greatest TV star of all time. Now I want to hear from you. What's your favorite Walter White moment? Drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into iconic characters. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay out of the danger zone.